Hey folks, Scott here, Bitcoin Business. That's the name of our YouTube channel. It has been 1 week since I have been in cryptocurrency, and I want to just give you a general overview of some of the interesting things that I've learned in the last week. Some things that will probably form decisions and hopefully make good investment strategies for myself and possibly anyone else listening to this YouTube video. Don't take this as financial advice. It is just my own thoughts. But with no further ado, I'll get stuck into it. Basically, I bought a little bit of cryptocurrency. I bought some Litecoin. I bought some ETH, and I also bought some Bitcoin. Now, the way that I did that is I topped up my Coinbase account and then moved it over to GDAX. I spent £250 on those various coins. 80% of it went to Bitcoin and the rest went to the other two. And I got in just before things started going back up after that big crash that we had. So I've made a little bit of profit. I probably made about £30–40 in the last couple of days. Anyway, as my research in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, I obviously knew all about Bitcoin mining. I've got a bit of popcorn stuck in my throat. I've in the past I've run an IT business, and I know a lot about putting together PCs, diagnosing PCs, fixing laptops, all that type of stuff. So Bitcoin mining is something that I kind of know about. I've never really looked into it. I did have a colleague about 6 years ago. He suggested that I get into it, and I did have a look back then. And I think that was like when the price went up to about $50 from, like almost zero. And I was like, oh, it looks too risky. And look where we are now. So I'm kicking myself that I didn't get into this sooner. But the Bitcoin mining has really sort of scratched my interest as opposed to the Bitcoin or the cryptocurrency trading. Now, I've investigated the Bitcoin mining, and I've formulated a plan actually. I'm going to build a mining rig with 6 graphics cards. Now, it's been difficult getting to this decision, and the reason I say that is because there's quite a large investment involved in building a mining rig with 6 graphics cards. If I show you, the graphics cards in question that I'm looking at, this is the GTX 1080 Ti. It's pretty much top of the range graphics card that you can get. One of the best for mining Bitcoin. It's one of the most efficient, and it's pretty much the fastest on the market. One of the big problems with these 1080 Ti's is they're really hard to get hold of. The second problem is that they've shot up in price in the last year or so, and they're really difficult to get hold of. So there's a lot of retailers or PC retailers that don't stock these cards, and when they do come into stock, they're quite expensive. So as I mentioned, it's going to be a 6-core rig, this. If I take my calculator out here, 6 cores, this is one graphics card, we need 6 of them. My investment is going to be minimal, £4,500, which is a big chunk of cash. That's probably about 5 months of me investing normally. So I would more than likely over the course of 5 months maybe invest the same amount, and I certainly wouldn't be investing it in cryptocurrencies. It would more be in other managed funds, nothing to do with cryptocurrencies, because I think they're safer. But why I'm leaning more towards this idea. I had a play around with one of the easy to use mining pieces of software. It's called NiceHash, and it basically automatically switches to the best coin to mine, and it's fairly easy to set up. It's basically just you register on their website, you download the software, and then you hit start. But on my NiceHash account, I've got a couple of PCs lying around the house. One of them, a couple of them have decent graphics cards in them already. So I thought, well, let's try out. Let's see how much I can make. The balance currently is £4.48. Not a lot, but that's because I've just had a payout. If I go into the NiceHash website under my account, I've actually just had a payout for £21.71. That's quite good because I've only been mining for about 2.5 days. And it says here the current estimate on how much I'll be making a day is £8.14 a day. Now that's been jumping around, and basically I managed to figure out how much I'll get for one card. I'll get about £5 per 1080 Ti. If I have, let me get my calculator back up here. If I have £5 per card and I have 6 cards, I'm going to make £30 in a day. Now, if you times that by, let's say there's 30 days in the month, you're getting £900 a month. So what I've been doing the maths basically, and I've come to the conclusion it's going to take me about 4.5 months to pay for these cards. Basically, there are some other things that I have to purchase for the mining rig. I already have a motherboard. I already have a hard drive. I do need a power supply unit. I need a frame to put them all in. So it's probably going to be closer to £5,000 once it's all finished, this mining rig. But I can expect to make that money back over the course of about 4.5 months. And once I've made that money back, I will then start earning £30 a day in pure profit. The reason I am leaning towards this, as I said, is, well, yeah, I'm going to make money. Now, I could take £5,000 just now out of maybe various accounts, a couple of credit cards, a couple of overdrafts. I could come up with £5,000. And I could go and invest all of that in Bitcoin, and I don't have to buy any hardware at all or any other cryptocurrency. And, if it goes up, I'll make money. But if it goes down, I'll lose money. And that's why I'm leaning more towards the mining side of things, because I will have invested in the actual hardware. Now, it could be a case that if the Bitcoin crashes completely, these graphics cards will go down in value quite a bit. I might lose £200 a card or £300 a card. But I've got a couple months to make some money whilst it's there. So what I'm trying to say basically is, I could take £5,000, put it into, the markets, and I might not see that £5,000 back again. I might only get, £4,000 back from or £3,000 if I hold on it in another crash. Whereas if I invest in Bitcoin mining, I've actually got the hardware. So the initial investment is something that I will own, and then I can start making money. The gains might not be as big if the market decides it's going to go, it's going to continue the way it's been going the last 3 months. But we look at the market just now. This is the trend for the last month on the Bitcoin chart. This is the Bitcoin price. And if you look at that graph, I think it's fairly obvious to say that it's kind of treading water, but it's actually looks as though there's a bit of a trend downwards. So I'm like, I'm just not too sure. There's so many people getting into this now. This is the other thing, that more than likely these are going to go up because there's so many people get into them. But when it comes to the mining side of things, there is a barrier to entry. There is some knowledge that you need about PCs, about how to set up graphics cards. I had to look up knowledge as well. So there's a bit more of a barrier to entry when it comes to mining. So that's the other reason I'm trying to talk myself into going down this route of buying a mining rig. That there is a barrier to entry, which makes it a little bit more difficult, which means it probably will be worth the money in the long run. The only thing, though, I say with this, this is the big question that I've got. Obviously, there's the markets. We don't know what way the markets are going to go. But the hardware itself, over the course of the past couple of years, these graphics cards have went up quite a bit. But where is the price of these graphics cards going to go in the next, the next 6 to 8 months? Will I see a return if I sell them? Probably not. You never do with PC hardware. If one of them fails or something like that, then I've lost a bit of my money. So I'm still I'm still trying to weigh it up. I haven't come to a full conclusion yet. I haven't bit the bullet either way. I really do like, putting some money aside every month and just putting it into the markets a little bit at a time, squirreling it away, as opposed to having this big upfront cost. The other thing that brings a little bit of complication into my life and my wife's life is my wife's actually pregnant just now. She's due in May. So I'm thinking in the back of my head, if I build this mining rig now, it'll have paid by itself by May. And it means that when she has to stop working, then there'll be some other money generating in the background. That's the other bit of logic that I'm like, it's like, there's maybe something in this. There's maybe a bit of, there's maybe something in it. Anyway, I would love it. I'd love your advice if you have any. That would be amazing. I do appreciate you following this channel, and I appreciate the people in the Facebook group that have put up with me as I attempt to do YouTube for the first time. I will make these videos more interesting than they maybe are at the moment. I'll try and inject a little bit more personality into them. I'm also going to, if I go down this route of the mining rig, I'm going to sort of document that. Hopefully I'll do, as I say, a video a week documenting how I set up the rig and everything I'm learning about the rig. But I'm hoping I'll actually have a blog on there as well. Maybe a little bit of affiliate income on that blog, and hopefully I'll get a little bit more views in the YouTube video. Anyway, I appreciate you guys watching this video, and I'll see you in next week's video. Thanks a lot, and if you like this video, you know what to do. See ya.